Hey, folks, we are here back working on some Sheets stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about what's called conditional formatting. Conditional formatting lets you pick a condition or pick a criteria of what is in a cell and make the format of that cell, the color of the text, stuff like that. You can make that reflect the value that is in the cell at that given time. So, I'm going to go ahead and select all of these numbers. Now, looking at test scores, some of these I would be really happy with, like a 95, and others I wouldn't be very happy with, like a 55, if these were percentages. So I would want to take and maybe make those cells have some appearance that would reflect how they were doing. So if I had a student name next to it, I could go, whoa, hold on, Jimmy's got a 55 on that, and it's pretty clear because it came up looking differently. So to do that, it's pretty simple. You go up here to Format and Conditional Formatting, and that opens up the conditional format rules over here. It's a little control panel. So the first thing we'll do is we're going to set up a single color. So in this range, we are going to format cells if, right now it says if they're not empty, then they're green, it looks like this. And you can see that's what it's done. But that's not really what we want. We want to go into these rules and figure out what is it we want to be in there. So maybe if I'm a teacher, I might be like, well, if it's greater than 70 for a test score, then I'm feeling pretty good about that. And you can see already how it's reflected. Only the ones over 70 are the green. And I might be happy with that. So I click on done. I can also add another rule. And that other rule might be only for the things that are less than or equal to, because we got to get 70 in there. Last time we did greater than. So we're going to do less than or equal to 70. And we're going to change up the look here. I'm going to change this to be kind of a pink background. That's the fill color. And then I might change the text to be a bright red. And that way I can really see, okay, where are my problems? Who are the students that I have that are popping up and not making the grade that we need? So those are a couple things. Click done and you can see there are two rules that live here. Um, and that's the result. But I want to show you another one that you can do as well, that even gives more information. So I'm going to use the trash can here to remove that rule and this rule, and we'll add a new one to this whole range. And it's going to be a color scale. So right now you can already see it's applied a color scale with the default one right here, and this green is going to be the minimum value. So right now we're sitting on green, and green is the lowest value. I don't know that I like that. I think I'd rather have that be something like a red for the lowest value. And that way it's sort of a heat map of how well they did. And if it's got almost no color, then they did well. But I'm not sure I want it to be no color. So I'm going to put in here, instead of using minimum value, I'm going to use a number. And I'm going to put 0 in there. And then here for the max value, I'm going to use a number here and use 100. And if they had a 100, a perfect 100, then they're going to have this completely green deal. Now, the problem is that it did this, and I don't really see brown being a very good midpoint. So instead of leaving it as is, I'm going to go midpoint number, and we're going to do 70 here, just like we did before. But I don't like brown. We're going to come in here and choose yellow. And that way, you can see when I click done and click off of these, you can see that the ones that are really going to be the issue are the ones that show up down here. So um, if if it's an orange or a red, then it's definitely not where you want to be. But if it's a bright green, then you know that you've done pretty well and you got a pretty good score. The yellows are going to be somewhere in between, probably around your C's and like a 70. So those are two great ways that you can do some conditional formatting and just give your spreadsheets a little more life and give just that much more information for the people who are looking at them. So, all right, I think you've got a challenge. So go ahead and move on to that. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the video.